Former President Donald Trump returns to Washington, D.C. to face charges related to the January 6th Capitol attack and alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election. I'm Natalie Brand with the historic hearing.
Plus, as students across the mountains prepare to head back to school, one local church spent the day stuffing backpacks.
And we continue to track showers and storms throughout the region as we head through tonight and tomorrow. The very latest ahead as First at 4 continues at 5.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
And we're doing our 4:30 newscast at 5 today. Good to have you along. Former President Donald Trump arrived in Washington, D.C. earlier today and was formally charged with 4 felony counts related to his alleged actions to overturn the 2020 presidential election. He pleaded not guilty. CBS's Natalie Brand is at the U.S. District Court in Washington, D.C. with the latest.
Donald Trump arrived in Washington, D.C. and then traveled by motorcade to a federal courthouse. This is the former president's first court appearance to face unprecedented charges related to the January 6th Capitol attack and what prosecutors allege was a sweeping scheme to overturn the 2020 election. Outside the courthouse, security is tight. The city even pulling snowplows out of storage to bolster the fence line. Here on the sidewalk outside of the courthouse, there are both supporters of the former president and those demonstrating against him. Some people even traveling from out of state to be here for this historic hearing. Trump himself weighed in ahead of the hearing, saying he's going to Washington to, quote, be arrested for having challenged a corrupt, rigged, and stolen election. He's expected to enter a not guilty plea to 4 felony counts, including conspiracy to defraud the United States and conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding.
Essentially, his defense is going to be, I fully had the right to contest an election that I knew or I was convinced was rigged. And so part of the challenge here is to prove that, no, this was in fact a fraud.
Special counsel Jack Smith says he's seeking a speedy trial, but Trump's legal team has signaled they will seek delays as the former president now faces charges in 3 separate cases. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Trump is the only person charged in the case, but prosecutors reference 6 co-conspirators, mostly lawyers, they say he plotted with. We have new information about a crash in Campbell County, Tennessee yesterday morning. Officials with the Tennessee Highway Patrol say Mark Luster was hit on Interstate 75 while walking along the shoulder. The crash happened near mile marker 139. Officials say the driver of a tractor trailer tried to avoid Luster but hit him in the right lane. This week, the St. Matthews community near Louisville is coming together to support Officer Nick Wilt and his family. Organizers say the fundraiser has already raised more than $100,000. Last night, Jeep lovers from around Kentucky came out for a Jeep show. Each Jeep was one of a kind. You could find models with pop culture references or ones that are vintage with pieces of history. John Dethridge is a constable in Oldham County and says he wanted to help the family any way he could.
As a, brother law enforcement officer, it was devastating to have him hurt like that. And we're so glad that he has made it home, and it looks like he's going to be fine. So we're all praying for him.
There are several events still left on the calendar this week for Wilt Week, including Family Fun for Wilt tonight until 8 p.m.
Well, a rather gloomy day region-wide today, thanks to the clouds and the showers, and of course, the higher in elevation you go, the mistier it gets. I promise you, this is not a mistake. That is actually what our Buffalo Mountain camera looks like right now. It is that foggy outside. You can't see the some of the branches of the trees and the roof of the building there, but trust me, that's not an error. It's just that misty up there, and we'll continue to see a few showers working through, the heaviest of which is pushing near McDowell right now in southern parts of Floyd County. One just to the south of downtown Pikeville. Showers overspreading much of Letcher County right now, southern Perry County back into Leslie and Clay counties at this point, with a few more not far from Bernstadt and East Bernstadt there into portions of Laurel County and southern parts of Rockcastle County. We'll continue to see these push out. Where it has been cloudy and rainy today, we've barely made it out of the middle 70s, even the low 70s. Notice, though, up to the north, Lexington's 82, Louisville's 83. They've seen a touch of sunshine. For us, though, next 12 hours, I think sunshine's a bit far-fetched. Down into the 60s as we await perhaps a rather foggy night tonight. I'll have the details on that here in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thanks. New regulations on Delta-8 and hemp-derived substances were put into effect on August 1st. It could mean changes for some local businesses. Julia Sandor shares some of the new details.
Emergency regulations regarding Delta-8 THC officially went into effect on August 1st. Now, some people in the industry are explaining what this could mean for Kentuckians.
There are a lot of common sense restrictions.
Because of House Bill 544, there's new restrictions for legal products sold in the state, such as Delta-8 or other hemp-derived substances. That includes new age, shipping, and packaging rules.
To be able to put that where it's 21 plus, to put these kind of regulations on it, that makes perfect sense. You know, you wouldn't want those to get in the hands of underage kids. You want them, you know, packaged, resistant. So, you know, I think these are good policies to be put in place.
Over at Kentucky CBD Pharmacy in Nicholasville, Robert Matheny says all of their products have a COA or Certificate of Analysis. That's another one of the new requirements.
It's very important to know that the products you have are third-party tested. And a lot of places won't have them on the packaging itself because a lot of them are small places. But they do have these certificates available. Just ask them. And if they don't have it, don't buy it.
Right now, they say THC products can be found at a local gas station, but with restrictions like these, that could change.
Cannabis is about feeling better, and that's our specialty, is learning this plant, knowing how to use it effectively for very specific things.
These regulations are different from Senate Bill 47, which legalized medical marijuana. That bill does not go into effect until January 2025. Operation Unite is celebrating 20 years of working in the substance use disorder community. Unite stands for Unlawful Narcotics Investigations, Treatment, and Education. The organization was launched by Congressman Hal Rogers in 2003. Thursday, they hosted a symposium for their community partners at EKU's Manchester campus.
Well, this is the 20th anniversary of the founding of Unite. And it's absolutely remarkable the change that's taken place. 20 years ago, we were, by the Lexington newspaper's account, we were the painkiller capital.
The symposium included a panel of people who have a major role in their community's addiction recovery work. WYMT's Madison Carmouche will have more about the symposium tonight at 6. School leaders in Pulaski County say they could use more bus drivers heading into the new school year. Pulaski County schools start next Thursday. Superintendent Patrick Richardson says they will be able to cover their 145 routes, but they do not have as many substitute or alternate drivers that they would like to have. They have recently had to reduce the number of routes by 4. Some have been doubled up to ensure they have enough to pick up all the kids in the district. Drivers we spoke with say it is a very rewarding job.
There may be jobs that you could make more money at, but then the hours that you have kind of work out for a lot of people a whole lot better. Especially I started because I had young kids at home and I was going to be off when they were out of school.
Drivers are typically guaranteed 5 hours per day and make about $13.50 per hour. You can find more information about the job openings by going to Pulaski.net, and this is certainly a problem across the region. We'll have more about it tonight at 6. One Pike County church spent the morning stuffing backpacks and bellies for kids in the area. Grace Community Kitchen opened its doors today, filling plates with hot dogs as the Pike County Public Library filled backpacks with school supplies. The partnership was all about giving back to those in need ahead of the upcoming school year.
To me, the most rewarding work that we can do is look at our community, see what the needs are, and then have the privilege and the opportunity to be able to meet some of those needs.
Haircuts and free books were also available. Hear more about the giveaway coming up at 6. But next, as First at 4 at 5 continues, gas prices are back on the increase. A AAA spokesperson tells us why you are paying more at the pump.
Plus, more showers and storms on the way as we head a little bit later on into the weekend. Those details after this.